long time we had relative dating techniques, which would tell us what is older and what is younger. And later on we got dendrochronology and then radiometric means of dating, looking at how long it takes for radioactive material to break down. Of course, different radiometric techniques are good for different slices of time. So we have the relative and we have the absolute dating techniques. The second thing we needed was the change. And the early evidence for change was, first of all, the fact that we have similarities with apes, less so with monkeys, less so with other groups we call primates, less so with other mammals, et cetera, et cetera. So, comparing our anatomy, we have the same number of bones that gorillas have, that chimpanzees have. They're just shaped differently. Same muscles as well, shaped differently. There's a couple of muscles that are different. And then Flombert's embryology. Under Flombert and his embryology, he showed that we look like other animals. And earlier, the embryo of the more animals we look like. Remember that first row? We couldn't tell humans from pigs, from fish, from salamanders, from chickens, et cetera, et cetera. The second row, we could tell the salamanders and the fish, a little bit later on, and those are more distantly related to us. There's only in the third row that we could tell which was the human, which was the pig, which was the chicken, which was the turtle, et cetera, and so on. So he showed that we have similarities, and if we look at the fossil record itself, we can see that some of the changes that we see embryologically, like the construction of the jaw, accord very well with the paleontological record. Embryology and paleontology mix. Yes?
Who is that again?
Again, Flambert. Put that up on the board here. Something a little darker than pastel. I see. I've got some stuff here. See if this works. Oh. Flambert. His idea was ontogeny. Recapitulates. Phylogeny. I'll rewrite some of the other lines. I've got my own here. It'll work better. I hope it'll work better. It works worse. Give you this one last try. Oh. Thank you anyway, appreciate it. And this is just a fancy way of saying that our pattern of development embryologically from conception through the fetus retells the story of our deep genealogy, I guess you could call it, our phylogenetic past. So, we look at conception of humans. We can study the process of conception in humans by studying the process of conceptions in jellyfish, because it's the same process. So we share that with jellyfish, but we don't share a whole lot more with jellyfish, et cetera, et cetera. But the closer we are to a species, more likely we will share more and more time in this process of development and during the embryological stages. Then, aside from the anatomy and the embryology, which is kind of anatomy, just developmental anatomy, finally we have fossils that were found. This fossil that was found that was human, more or less, was the Neanderthal fossil found in Germany, although interpretations of that were varied. But we'll get into that next time anyway. And then we began to find other fossils and began to be able to put them finally in some geological context. So we could see that there was a regular progression from a creature that was pretty much ape-like up to us, which we can distinguish ourselves from the apes. The process was not a linear process. It went in fits and starts. First, we stood upright, in bipedal. Then we became very bipedal by losing our ability to grab onto trunks of trees with our feet. Stayed that way for quite a while. Then the brain began to develop as the gene that allows us to grow the brain was present. We enlarged ourselves from the short stature of Lucy, as we were still put the upright bipedal but small brain individuals. With Homo erectus. With Homo erectus we get an individual that is just about our stature, almost our brain size, and with a lifestyle that we could probably duplicate. Don't know yet if they had language, but they probably had a complex social organization of some sort. And we'll get into moderns, which I will again include Neanderthals next time. So, let's see. Primate nature, human nature, again, I don't know what natural means exactly, but I've already talked about some of the ways in which humans differ from apes. We have language, we can speak because of the fox gene. We have complex social organization. Now, primates do have social organization. They recognize kin. They recognize kin through the mother because they can't tell whose dad is. Dad is one of the guys in the group. We have a distinctive life cycle in that we have an extra long period of being immature and dependent upon parents. First of all, we have a long childhood, which allows us to learn a lot from our parents and our neighbors. And then we have a reproductive period, which is about the same as the other apes. But then we have a post-reproductive period in females that the apes don't. The apes can have kids almost up to the time we die. We have a Rubicon, which is almost completely universal, no matter what you go for, age 40 on average. Now, for each individual person, sterility may, for women, the sterility may come at age 23, it may come at age 55. But 40 is the Rubicon on average, period. And then we live beyond that. We live beyond age 40. We live 20 years beyond age 40. We have a puberty growth spurt, which the apes don't have. At puberty, we change rather dramatically in ways that are surprising to us as we go through the stages. We go from being children to adults. Women have a very dramatic event, menarche, the first menstruation. Boys just have an embarrassing period of keeping their voice somewhere at some octave or other. And both have growth in sexual organs and growth of secondary sexual hair, which is a signal of